Good evening, everybody. This is Phil Grigsby with the National Weather Service in Slidell. So we're going to go through the Sunday weather outlook. So the situation overview, we're expecting higher rain chances through the first half of the week, and then a slightly drier weather pattern is expected for the end of the week. Overall, there's a marginal to slight risk of flooding rains through Tuesday, and temperatures should be cooler than average due to all the rain and cloud cover that we're expecting to start the week, but they should warm back to more normal readings by the end of the week. The good news is the tropics are expected to remain quiet this week. So here's the tropical weather outlook for the next 5 days, and as you can see, tropical develop is not expected in the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico. So that's great news. We'll have to see if we have anything develop down the road, but for now we're looking good. Here's the excessive rainfall outlook for tomorrow and tomorrow night, and you can see that there's a marginal to slight risk of excessive rainfall across the area. The highest potential for tomorrow looks like it's going to be generally along and south of the I-10-12 corridor, and this will impact areas that saw a ton of heavy rainfall, with rainfall totals ranging between 5 and 10 inches in many areas across eastern portions of St. Tammany Parish and across coastal Mississippi. So if we do have any heavy rainfall that occurs from thunderstorms tomorrow in those areas, they're going to be the more prone regions to see any type of flooding issues. We are expecting rainfall rates that could be in the 1 to 2 inch range per hour, and that could also lead to some street flooding issues down on the South Shore, especially in Metro New Orleans, where the drainage system may have the capacity exceeded. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. As a result, we are, concerned that there could be street flooding in low-lying and poorly drained areas, and there could also be some additional rises on some of the rivers in the area, simply because there's going to be a lot of runoff into them, and there are several rivers that are in flood, which I'll discuss here in a few seconds. The good news is, we should see things kind of die off a little bit tomorrow night. The way it looks, we'll just have to see how it all plays out. But for right now, we're thinking the heaviest rains are going to be in the afternoon and early evening hours. So hopefully there will be a bit of a break, because unfortunately, there is still an excessive rainfall outlook as well for Tuesday into Tuesday night. It is a marginal risk at this time. We'll have to see if there are any changes to that. So it is the lowest level risk, but that does not mean that flash flooding could not happen. There is that risk that it will occur. Again, street flooding in low-lying, poorly drained areas is the main concern. And obviously the regions that did see the heavy rainfall from Tropical Storm Claudette are again going to be the most prone to seeing any flooding risk. The rainfall rates should be in excess of 1 inch an hour still, and so there will still be concerns down in Metro New Orleans as well, with the drainage capacity possibly being exceeded at times. Again, the heaviest rains are expected to be in the afternoon and early evening hours, with most of the activity dying off as we get into the overnight hours Tuesday night. Here's the river forecast for the Wolf River above Gulfport, and I am sorry for that error above. Or is this Pearl River? I did not catch that. But the Wolf River above Gulfport, the river will remain at moderate flood stage for the next say 24 hours or so before beginning to fall. So we're expecting it to remain above moderate flood stage through tomorrow. The good news is the river is expected to fall below flood stage by Tuesday night. I will say, if you do encounter any high water on any of the roadways there, I know Bell's Ferry Road is impassable at this point for a large stretch due to the high water. Do not drive around the barricades. Do not try to cross through that road. Find an alternate route to your destination. Please do not drive through flooded roadways. And then here's the river forecast for the Biloxi River near Lyman. The good news is it has fallen below moderate flood stage, but it is still elevated at around 15.5 feet. And we do expect a slow fall over the next 24 to 36 hours. And it should be below flood stage by Tuesday morning. So conditions should begin to improve throughout the day tomorrow there. Again, if you do encounter any high water, especially say on Lorraine Road, or any of the subdivisions that are right there near the river, please do not go through those flooded roadways. Like I said before, find an alternate route to whatever destination you are headed to. So now we'll go into the general forecast for specific areas in our forecast region. For New Orleans, the 7-day forecast, you can see the high rain chances early on with rain chances of 80 to 90%, almost 100%. from tonight all the way through Wednesday. That's going to keep temperatures lower as well. The average high this time of year is typically in the lower 90s, and we'll only see highs in the mid to upper 80s. Overnight lows are going to be closer to normal in the mid to upper 70s. As we get into the latter part of the week, Thursday through Saturday, rain chances drop back down to what we would typically see this time of year, generally around 50 to 60% in the afternoon, with conditions improving during the overnight hours, most of the rain falling in the evening and then drying out after midnight. Temperatures will correspond to the decrease in cloud cover and rainfall, with highs getting a bit closer to normal in the upper 80s, and I would not be surprised if a few locations in Metro New Orleans get into the lower 90s, and overnight lows would be close to average in the upper 70s. So Baton Rouge is not much different than New Orleans. We're looking at very high rain chances all the way through Tuesday, with rain chances of 90% or higher. Wednesday, maybe a little bit lower rain chance at about a 70%, but that's still above what we typically see this time of year. And you can see the temperatures respond to that as well, going from the mid 80s on Monday and Tuesday to the upper 80s by Wednesday. And then we'll go back to a more typical summertime pattern as we get into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with highs in the lower 90s, lows in the mid 70s, and about a 50% to 60% chance of rain each day. Gulfport, we're going to see a pretty cool pattern, actually, given the amount of rain that we're expecting. We'll see, rain chances almost 100%, and that's going to keep temperatures down into the lower 80s, which is well below average. And it may be a little bit breezy on Monday as well. We could have a pretty good south wind or onshore wind blowing about 10 to 15 miles per hour with some gusts to 20 miles an hour. So it's going to feel a lot cooler than you would typically expect for late June. Now, as we get into Wednesday, the rain chances do begin to decrease. They drop down to around 75%, and temperatures climb a few degrees into the mid 80s. And then we begin the drying trend, as was the case in the Baton Rouge and New Orleans areas, with highs in the mid to upper 80s and rain chances of 50 to 60% expected. Basically back to the more normal summertime pattern that we would typically see this time of year. And finally, Macomb, the 7-day forecast here. Again, there's the high rain chances, 80 to 90% through Tuesday, the cooler temperatures in the low to mid 80s. And in fact, we may even see some lows that drop down into the upper 60s, which is well below average for this time of year. However, as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, the drying trend really is going to take effect there. It's quite evident. We'll see rain chances back down to more normal levels of around 50% by Wednesday, and those continue all the way through Saturday. And temperatures will correspondingly increase into the upper 80s, and I would not be shocked to see some areas in the lower 90s there either by the end of the week. So that's the way it looks for the forecast for the week. Just a quick summary again. We are expecting higher rain chances through the first half of the week, and there is going to be a marginal to slight risk of flooding rains through Tuesday because of that, and temperatures will be cooler than average. As we get into the latter part of the week, a slightly drier weather pattern is expected to develop, basically a more typical summertime weather pattern for us, with afternoon showers and thunderstorms, but only scattered coverage, not the more widespread coverage that we're expecting the next couple of days. And correspondingly, temperatures are going to increase into the upper 80s and lower 90s. And the good news is that we're expecting the tropics to remain quiet this week. And so that is the Sunday weather outlook for everybody. I hope you have a good week. Hopefully it's a quieter week than what we've seen recently, and we do not see these flooding rains that we're kind of expecting to impact the area. Hopefully those will stay away. And everybody have a great week, and we'll talk to you again next Sunday.